So the first thing we want to do is essentially pivot cancel onto the ledge. This puts you at the final point where you are next to the ledge and you cannot go any further. You want to practice this a little bit. Luckily you slide to the very edge in your pivot, so you will be right there. Next, if you go off to the right after you do that, you can turn around and you'll be hanging on the ledge, which seems, again, pointless. So you're just doing a pivot cancel and then turn around. But again, you are right next to the ledge, and any movement after this will cause you to fall off. Practice to make sure you can actually get it accurately where you're not messing up. It's not too hard. You're essentially just flicking left, right, then left again. Left, right, left. We are going to continue left and fall off. After this, it's simply a timing difference, whether you grab the ledge or continue. You see, if I hold it too long, I continue falling. If I don't, I grab. Now that we practice our pivot cancel ledge trump, we can try to implement on Rob here. There's a reason I have Rob at 15%, so if you don't have Rob at 15%, go ahead and switch that now. Luckily, if we run up to Rob and input a forward tilt, he ends up on the ledge every single time. We can make this faster by pivot cancel forward to tilting, and if you don't know how to do that, I would recommend looking at my inputs and working with that. Once we have our pivot cancel forward tilt down, we're going to combine this with our ledge trump. For now, I don't want you to follow this up with anything until you're confident with the ledge trump aspect. I'd recommend doing it at least 5 times in a row so that you know it's getting close to muscle memory. Now that we've gotten it pretty accurately, we can start to look at options for what we can do next. So this is where timing comes in. If we instantly input a back air, it just doesn't hit. So we have to figure out our timing in order to get this. So if we wait and do a drop down instead, we actually do get this hit on Rob. So you run up, drop down, and hit. It may be sour, it may be a sweet spot, it just depends on your timing. So this next setup is a little bit harder in that we can get him at a 75%, but I feel like it's more precise. That's why we didn't start with it. So we're going to run up, stop, and then down tilt. The benefit with this is we can start to see what happens at 75%. There we go. While it's not important to practice on every character, it can be important to look at different characters and see how they react. So let's just look at Mario here. Again, 15% seems to be the perfect percentage to get him onto the ledge, so that's good. So let's practice on him and see that the same timing basically works for Mario. However, it's important to know that down tilt is at 70% instead of 75%. And you can see that the timing on this one will be a little bit different because Mario moves differently in the air. However, it does insta-kill him at 70, which is great. One thing I'd recommend is finding some characters you might struggle with and practicing on them just to see what you might be able to do that is better on them than other characters. So for no reason specifically, we're going to bring out King K. Rool. So it's important to note that since K. Rool's heavier, you're probably going to have to bump the CPU damage up more. So let's attempt it at, let's go with 80 and see how that works. Run up, down tilt. Oh, not quite. So let's bump it up to 85 and see if that's the right percentage. Close, maybe even 87. Perfect. 87 is where you want to be. So now we can run up, down tilt, and practice this at high percent K. Rool. And again, this is just a setup. This is not what we expect to use in-game. So we run off, and ooh, we can insta-kill him. Very good. The great thing about this one is that it's not a timing-based thing. You can basically just go for it. This is really important because the wolf is primarily a ledge trapper, so this just can be added to our kit of things we can do to trap the ledge. Be sure to practice this and lab it just a little bit before trying to implement it into a game, but never miss the opportunity to add to your ledge trapping capabilities.